In this video, you're going to learn exactly what Christ consciousness truly is and how to cultivate this into your life so you can live a better life, create the things that benefit yourself and humanity, and ultimately to bring heaven on earth. This is the true way. If you're familiar with my work, you know that, I'm pretty much obsessed with symbolism. Symbolism is such a massive topic, and it unlocks profound ancient wisdom that is hidden behind these layers of symbolism of the ancient paintings, symbols, and texts. So I was going through some Christian artwork and I came across this painting. It's a well-known painting called The Sacred Heart of Jesus. And it just blew my mind what this is revealing about human consciousness and Christ consciousness, which is what Jesus represents. If you're not familiar with Christ consciousness, you should definitely do a bit of research on that. But I'm going to explain it today in detail. So when we look at this painting, we are looking at symbolism. We're looking at consciousness, a state of being, a state of living, a way of thinking, a way of feeling, and a way of acting in the world. As I've said this many times, we're all creators. We all create and generate reality. And you don't just have your personal reality, you have a collective reality. Your reality is affected by the collective consciousness. Depending on the collective consciousness's understanding of reality will also affect your life. We have a collective life and a collective experience. So Jesus in this depiction here is in a way showing us instructions to reach Christ consciousness, whether you see it yet or not. But I'm going to decode this for you. And your mind might be blown after watching this. Okay, so what is the meaning of Christ consciousness? What's the whole purpose of this? Very simple. Like I mentioned before, we have a collective experience on this world. And Christ consciousness is the natural consciousness that we all need to be functioning on to generate peace, love, and unity on the earth in this experience we call life. That's what Christ consciousness truly is. It's a state of being that we need to cultivate within our own self, within myself, others, and everyone in this life and experience, so that we can all live in peace and heaven on earth, what they like to call it, so that we can generate the best experience possible together on this thing we call earth, on this material world, this material dimension. The material dimension is simply just a physical dimension of thought. It's a physical outcome of thought, but that's a whole other lecture. So please leave a like, leave a comment if you have any topics to talk about that you wish for me to cover, and definitely leave a subscribe if you like my content and channel. So to go deeper into this, right, we've explained what Christ consciousness is and what it actually, will do to the earth and what it will do to reality in our collective experience. And it's also representing a profound understanding of self, a deep understanding of the true nature of self, the true source of self, what the self is, pure consciousness, pure God. We are all Jesus. Jesus is you, a physical manifestation of the divine made manifested physically. A physical manifestation of consciousness, okay, of spirit descended into matter. However, Jesus is a symbol that should not be worshipped, but something that we need to cultivate, maybe look up to, and cultivate within our own mind and hearts and actions. So he is someone that we should embody into our own very own being. We need to reach a level of intellect, the mind, a level of emotional understanding, and ultimately this creates Christ consciousness. Okay, and now I know that was very, very vague what I just said, but I'm going to explain it a bit more. I don't want to give it fully away yet because you need some more information, more keys. So let's observe the top end of this painting. Jesus with this circular light emanating around his head is symbolic of the mind, of our thinking aspects of consciousness, the way we generate thoughts, ideas. The mind is also good at also ruling communication. It also rules what we give attention to. Okay, so this is symbolizing the mind of every human being. The mind is a very powerful center of consciousness located in the head, of course. This is why Jesus is the head at the top with the circle around it, representing the mind. Now, to reach Christ consciousness, we need to purify our minds. Purification of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the hidden aspect of our mind with all of our memories, belief systems, and everything we've ever experienced is stored within there. We have traumas there. We have bad belief systems that hold us back. So it's about reprogramming the subconscious and aligning the subconscious with higher consciousness, with higher understanding of self, removing any mental blockages from the mind. Because in today's world, most people's minds, including myself before I, purified myself, and I'm still continually purifying myself. That's not to say I'm perfect, because I'm definitely not. But what I was saying was purifying the mind so we can have a powerful mind. Because like I was saying, most people's minds are not their own friend. They let their mind control them. They let their thoughts create negative influence on them, negative emotions. They let their mind destroy their confidence, destroy themselves. We do not want a mind like this. We need a mind that is our best friend, that receives powerful thoughts, that gives someone power. We do not want our mind taking away our power. Okay, so in this specific image here of Jesus, this represents a light mind, a powerful mind, enlightenment. The word enlightenment means light and ment coming from mental or mind, light in the ment. This means a powerful mind. Light is also symbolic of knowledge, information. When someone's very intelligent, you call them a bright person. It's a bright mind. It's knowledge of self. So the mind is conscious of self. That's another thing. We need to be conscious. A lot of people are not conscious, including myself before I did this, before I woke up. Most people are not conscious of their actions. They're not conscious when they're actually awake in the day. They do things unknowingly. Are we conscious of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, what we're giving attention to in our mind? Because ultimately this shapes our experience. There's a great quote, I think it's Julius Caesar or one of the Roman emperors, who says the quality of your life is dependent on the quality of your thoughts. Something along them lines. I don't know if I'm 100% correct there, but it's very true. Our thoughts dictate our happiness. So to cultivate Christ consciousness, we need to be conscious of our actions, conscious of our thoughts that we're giving attention to. There is a level of mastery that we can achieve within ourselves where we become conscious of every single thought that enters our mind. That sounds easy, but it's definitely not. But that's a high level of mastery that we can achieve and cultivate within ourselves. So we're looking at a powerful mind here from Jesus, a powerful mind, a purified mind. And we purify the mind through, affirmations, meditations, ritual work. Rituals are things we do every single day with an intent in our mind and an emotion in our heart to impress that state of consciousness into our subconscious so it can slowly rewrite our consciousness and align our consciousness and sync it with higher thoughts and higher emotions, with love. We can sync our consciousness with love, which is ultimately what Christ consciousness truly is. Well, now we're going to go on to that now. So we've gone over the mind. Now we go over the heart. Now notice, before we go into the heart, Jesus is revealing. He's pulling back the robe, symbolizing opening the heart, revealing the heart, revealing the soul, the light of the heart. Our authentic self lies in the heart. Our pure intentions, our love, our soul needs to be shining through our heart. And our soul is unconditional love. Now, that's not to say that we can get corrupted hearts. We surely can have corrupted hearts, for sure. We can love sick and twisted things, and that's evident in today's world. People love killing people. People love hurting people, manipulating people. People love power. Now, that's obviously an inversion of the natural state of consciousness for humans. When we're born with a natural state of love, of unconditional love for the self, for everyone else, for animals, insects, the earth. We love everything as a child. And not only do we love everything, we actually act upon this. As a child, we do not act on anything we know is not good. And I'm talking early stages of being a child, before we're indoctrinated, before the mind and heart become corrupted. We are pure. This is symbolizing this. Light represents also purification and truth, because when you shine light on something, it's the truth. You see it. You shine it through the darkness. It reveals. So light, this is symbolizing revealing the light of the soul, of love consciousness, holding love in the heart, true love, not love for sick and twisted things, but true love for the self, the body, and for everyone else and all things. Holding love in the heart. There's a famous saying of keeping the sun in your heart. Keep the sun in your heart. It's a very famous saying. What the sun is a symbol of love. What does the sun do? It gives abundantly. All it does is give light, give energy, power, light to the earth, and everything is feeding off this source. The sun expects nothing back. It just abundantly gives. It's a symbol of love. This is the love principle of creation. Now, the heart is also governing our actions. What we think about, in our mental field of consciousness, is directly corresponded and observed in our hearts. What we think about directly corresponds with what's going on and what we feel in our hearts. Thoughts produce emotions. So if we give attention to negative thoughts, there's no wonder we're having negative emotions in our hearts. So purification of the mind is also having an effect in purification on the heart. Because when we purify our thoughts and only give attention to powerful thoughts and positive thoughts that uplift yourself and humanity, then we're going to also see this change in the heart, see this emotional change in our consciousness. So this represents the purification of a purified heart, the light emanating around the heart. Love for the self, love for one another. And you're revealing this, you're shining the heart on others. This represents, revealing your true self to everyone without suppressing aspects of self. Revealing the light, not holding back the light. Because people in darkness will look at people who are spiritual and say, oh, he's into the woo-woo stuff. It's about revealing that and not caring about others. Because when you shine a light, you're also planting seeds in other people. Now, I'm going to tie this together with the hand gesture. Now, what we're looking at here, we're looking at a hand gesture with two fingers up, We have the middle finger and the index finger upwards. And notice how they're crossed over. They're crossed. They're not separate. They're crossed, representing unification. Unification here. This is a unified two fingers. Two represents division. Crossed over represents oneness. It's the unification of the mind and the heart. A lot of people talk about this, but not many people go into detail about it because, for many reasons. But this is the unification of thought with emotion. This is how we truly reach Christ consciousness. And ultimately, when we do gain the love in our hearts and we do slow, it's a gradual process of cultivating love for the self and everyone else in the world, because we're so programmed to be divided, but it's a slow progress. But when we do cultivate love in our hearts for the self and one another, love is a very, very nurturing and growing force. Like I said, the sun earlier, that is pure love energy. It makes everything grow on the earth. While love in your heart grows connections with people. It grows care. You go out your way to do things to people and do give people things. It's a very nurturing and growing energetic force. And me personally, I think the whole universe is built upon love. The whole thing. Without love, without the love, there is nothing. Nothing is, love is the only true emotion that truly exists. Everything else is either an opposition of love or a different degree and branch of love. Love is the only true emotion, and everything is built upon that principle. Okay, love is what guides us to a higher consciousness. When we cultivate love in our hearts, we become a vessel for light, more energy, more vibration. Our electromagnetic field expands, or biofield, when we hold love in our hearts. It's a very powerful force. And when we do cultivate a strong spiritual compass within our heart, because that's what our heart truly is, it's a spiritual compass. It tells us, well, it doesn't tell us, it knows what is right at all times. If you think something, your heart tells you whether that is right or that is wrong, whether you should act upon it or whether you should not. The heart knows what's good and evil. No one told you this as a child. As a child, you already knew this. You came into the world, you knew what was right and wrong. You knew it was wrong to hurt people. So this unification that he's doing with his hand symbolizes thinking with the love of the heart, represents thinking with love of the heart, thinking with love of the heart for the self and the collective. Now, ultimately, what this does is give birth to perfect action. Why? Why does this give birth to perfect action? Think about it. Every time you've taken an action, why did you take the action? You would have thought about it, you had a feeling towards it, a care energy, and you took action. Why do we go to work? We care about paying the bills and stay in our house. We go to work to earn money. We think, we care, we act. Everything you see in front of your reality, on the screen that you're seeing right now, you called your eyes. Everything is in front of you because you care. It's the heart energy that leads the body. Okay? And that's even present in the body. Have a look at the body. We have the head, thought, then emotion, then our feet is at the bottom, and our feet take action. Thought, emotion, action. Thought, emotion, action. So even the body is basically a blueprint of how creation is manifested. So we receive thoughts from the divine planes, from the higher planes of consciousness. We receive them. That's another thing that I missed. If we purify our minds, we're basically attuning our mind to a higher part of the mental plane, and we will receive higher thoughts. We will receive thoughts that are more genius, what we like to call today, or better quality thoughts. We receive good ideas. when we attune our mind to a higher consciousness. Okay, so we are like a radio. We receive thoughts based on what our mind is set to. That's why we call it a mindset. So, like I was saying, we receive thoughts through the head. We feel the emotion, then our feet take action. Thought, emotion, action. So the body's a blueprint of creation. It's beautiful when you really notice this. So this unification is about thinking with the love of the heart, which gives birth to perfect action in the world. And this is the state that we need to cultivate within myself and everyone in the world so we can give birth to heaven on earth through action. Because ultimately the world is molded through action, physical action. And them actions are molded from thoughts and emotions. Now, just to have a little announcement, I am now opening 10 more spaces inside my Symbolism Masterclass. We have 10 more spaces. You're going to learn about a lot more about symbolism. It's very affordable. I'll leave the link in the description if you wish, if you care about gaining more information and learning the ability to read symbols. So, what is the inversion of this? What is the inversion of this consciousness? Well, that's what we call satanic consciousness. Satanism. Satanism on its true level is the opposite, the opposing the natural state of consciousness that we are born into. It's about thinking with no emotion, thinking and acting. This is what the Skull and Bones represents here. So the Skull and Bones Secret Society, this is their main logo. Again, we have the skull, which represents thought, and the bones, which represent action. The bones take action in the physical body. We're looking at thought and action with no emotion, no empathy, no love for one another, only love for the self, the inverted love. Okay? We're looking at gray. Gray is a symbol of dullness, death. There's no emotion in gray because colors provoke emotion. When we look at a color, it invokes an emotion. Gray has no emotion. So we're looking at dullness of the emotions. I'm not going to go too deep on this subject. I'm going to create a whole new lecture for that. In fact, I think we have a great lecture inside Ethereal University on Satanism. We're going very into depth of what Satanism is and what Satanism consciousness truly is. And again, it's just the cross inverted. Satanism is just it's the invertation of, I don't know if that's a word, but it's the inverse of natural law, natural consciousness, of love consciousness that we are born into. Okay, so ultimately the message in this video was to create love in our minds, love in our hearts, think with the love of the heart, think with the care for one another, and that gives birth to perfect action. And when we align, when we do truly act out what our heart is telling us, and I know this from first-hand experience. This is what happened to me. I woke up, I started to follow my inner guidance. I always took action on it. I was saying yes to it every single time. And it led me, this is, I'm getting goosebumps actually saying this. It led me to where I am. That action, me saying yes to my heart, to that knowingness of goodness within me, was like a domino effect. And that domino effect, every time I did it, it was just opening more and more doors, not physically, but mentally. I was receiving more information. I was receiving more opportunity physically. My work started to explode on social media. Like, when you follow your heart and truly take action on what you know is good, it's like a domino effect that leads you step by step to where you're meant to be. And it's so profound and it's so, beautiful. And I'm telling you this from firsthand experience. This is ultimately how you kind of unlock your purpose in this physical world as well. So not only is it going to create a better world, it's also unlocking your true soul form and soul purpose while you're here. It's very beautiful. So I thank you, everyone. Please leave a like, comment, and share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all inside Ethereum University if you decide to take your studies to the next level. Take care.